Hi viewers, welcome back to Edu Solutions. Myself Ganesh Krishnan. So I am continuing the income tax for individuals series, continuing salaried individuals. So before I start, I am requesting all to please subscribe and press the bell button. So let's go a small recap on the part 2A, which is the basics of exemption and deduction difference and all. So let's do a small recap. So in that session, I have explained in this video, I have explained the difference between exemption and deduction. Then types of exemption, you can see here which are the types of exemption I have discussed in the video, and you can see in the I button that which all that for that video, so you can refer that. Then HRA calculation, I am mentioning here the main points discussed in the video. If you want to see the full video, please go and watch. And next is LTA criteria, then professional tax, what is professional tax and how it is done, and frequently asked questions for all the type of exemptions. So let's move on to part 2b. So what is part 2b? So part 2b is deduction. So this video I am requesting all to don't miss and start from the beginning to end, because if you are a salaried member and you are earning 20 lakh salary, 25 lakh salary, and you have an option to avoid all the type of taxes. So there are some sections which will help you out for this. So I am explaining each and every available sections for the salaried individuals. You can refer this video. Please do watch this video from beginning to end to understand in detail, so you can save much amount of tax. So let's start. So as I said in the previous, these are the sections available for deductions. So by these sections you can avoid the tax, or you can reduce the tax. At least you can reduce the maximum amount of tax. So I will just read it because the detailed session is there in the next slides. So just I am reading which all the sections: 80CCE, 24, section 24, and section 80EE, then section 80GG, then 80E, 80G, 80GGA, 80GGC. You can see the title name also, what is the sections belongs to. Then 80D, 80DD, 80DDB, 80U, 80TTA, 80TTB, and standard deduction and deductions under section 87A. So first we start with 80CCE. So 80CCE is a section which contains some subsections. 80CCE is a combination of three sections, which is 80C, 80CCC, 80CCD. You can see what is the description on this. I will go on to detail, because that's why I am not reading the description. And 80CCD is again subdivided into 80CCD1, 80CCD2, and 80CCD1B. So by this 80CCE section you can save tax up to 2 lakh. So this 2 lakh we will get exemption if you use it properly. Then let's see the first one, which is 80C. So 80C has investment, life insurance, children's education, stamp duty and registration, home loan, principal. So let's see which all. Life insurance is all types of life insurance including term insurance. So I have also mentioned, you can read this document required for this premium paid receipt, premium paid summary. I am not reading. You can see this because it will be again more lengthy if I read all this. So investment, there are 7 types of investment, which is ELSS mutual fund, employee provident fund, public provident fund, voluntary public provident fund, tax savings fixed deposit, national savings certificate, Sukanya Samriddhi. And in stamp duty and registration, yes, if you are buying some property and paying stamp duty, it is exempted. Then children's education fees, then home loan principal. I will do separate videos on each thing. What is life insurance policy, what is ELSS mutual fund. So don't worry, I will do separate videos on each topic, but this is the deduction part. You can get the deduction on these options. So let's move on to next, which is 80CCC. This is nothing, it's a simple term, which is insurance. If any insurance policy you are taking includes pension scheme approved by income tax department under section 10 23 AAB, it is called 80CCE, 80CCC, sorry. So let's see what is 80CCD. 80CCD is this, if you are depositing in schemes called NPS and APY. NPS means National Pension Scheme and APY Atal Pension Yojana, it is exempted. So the criteria is two criteria, tier 1 account and tier 2 account. So I will be doing separate videos in detail for NPS and APY. So don't worry, I will explain what is tier 1, what is tier 2, how to deposit in NPS and APY. So I will do a separate video. So in 80CCD, I already in the chart I have mentioned there are three subdivision: 80CCD1, 80CCD2, 80CCD1B. So 80CCD1 is employee share, that is your share on NPS. 80CCD2 is employer's share on NPS or APY, which should not exceed 10% of gross salary. And third one is additional benefit, that means 80CCE is actually 1.5 lakhs limit, but if you are additionally depositing some amount to NPS or APY, which comes under 80CCD1B, so the 1.5 lakhs limit is increased to 2 lakhs. Now let's see section 24 and section 80EE, which is interest on home loan. So you must most of the people have home loan. So if you are paying 80C, in section 80C you will get deduction for principal of home loan, and in 8024 and 80EE you will get interest part. Interest part is covered here. So then limit is 2 lakh. So you will get a interest if you are paying interest for 2 lakh or below, you will get the claim. If you are above 2 lakh, you can maximum claim up to rupees 2 lakh. And what is difference between 24 and 80EE is there is in between budget of 2016 there was a special scheme announced for with some certain conditions, so that members which they following the criteria will get additional 50,000. So totally in this section they will get additional benefit of 2.5 lakhs. So the criteria are, it should be first time purchase, the value of the house should be less than 50 lakhs, loan amount should be less than 35 lakhs, loan from authorized financial institution or housing finance company, and the period of purchase should be, so if you are purchasing now you won't get benefit of 80EE. This is only for the purchases made in the year 1/4/2016 to 31/3/2017. But if you bought the property in this period and you are still paying interest on that, you will get this benefit. So if you are purchased during this period, you will get 2.5 lakhs total benefit, and if not, you will get 2 lakhs, up to 2 lakhs. Now let's see section 80GG. So as I said in my previous video, HRA, if there is no HRA part of your salary, then you will get a benefit of HRA like thing from the income tax department. So how it is calculated, let's see. So the criteria, you should be self-employed or salaried, do not receive HRA as part of your salary. So in HRA it should be part of your salary, for 80GG it should not be part of your salary. Do not own, same as HRA, you should not own any house property, you should be staying for rent, and there should not be any property in your name or your spouse name or your child's name in the place you are currently reside for your job, profession or business. So and they have to file form 10BA for getting this claim. So this calculation is also, there is criteria, list of the following criteria like HRA calculation. So first criteria is 5,000 per month, second criteria is 25% of gross salary. The difference is that in HRA it is basic salary, but here it is gross salary, so total salary. Then third is actual rent less 10% of gross salary. Let's see one. So here the maximum is 60,000 because the 5,000 into 12 it is coming 60,000. So this will be the least, or which all will be the rest of the calculation. If it is less, then maximum 60k you can claim. Let's see one calculation. So same example I am repeating, but some removed. So A is earning a monthly income of rupees 40,000. As it is gross salary, no need of other knowing what are the other contents in the payslip, so I am avoiding that. Then he is staying in rent. Here also metro city, non-metro city, there is no difference. So he is staying anywhere in India for rent. His monthly rent is 10,000 per month. How much he can claim? So the criteria are 5,000 per month, 25% of gross salary, or actual rent less 10%. So in first case, if we calculate 5,000 into 12 is coming to 60,000. Next, 25% of gross salary. So his salary is 40,000 into 12 into 25%, which is coming rupees 1,20,000. Now for third criteria, rent paid less 10% of gross salary. So he is paying monthly rent of 10,000. So annually he is paying 1,20,000 less 10% of his gross salary. That means 40,000 into 12 into 10%, which is 48,000. So this is coming 72,000. So as you can see, the case 1 is lower. So as 60,000 is the lowest, Mr. A can claim 60,000 under section 80GG. So at any cost, the 80GG section will not exceed rupees 60,000, or it will come 60,000 or below only. Move on to next section 80E, interest on education loan. Most of the people are taking education loan for their education. So the interest paid on education loan is covered under section 80E. So there are some criteria for getting this claim. So courses in India or abroad. So in education fees we have seen that it should be in India only, but here you can do courses inside India or abroad. So here also in education fees, in section 80C and also in the exemption section, you can see it should be a regular course, but here in education loan you will get exemption for regular or vocational course, and only interest is allowed. So the difference is here, you will not get the claim for the principal part. You are taking a loan and the interest part of this loan is only covered for this section 80E. Then need to submit interest paid certificate. So you have to submit the interest paid certificate getting from the bank. Then maximum period is 8 years from the date of starting repayment. For example, if you are starting course in the year 2000 and your course is completing in 2003 and your payment loan payment in 2004. So this 8 years is calculated from 2004 and not from the date of loan taken. So you will get from 2004 you will get 8 years, that means 2012 you can claim this interest part. After that you have whatever interest you are paying, it will not come under claim. And the main advantage of this is there is no limit. That means you can claim as much amount. If you are paying interest of yearly 5 lakhs, then you will get a exemption of rupees 5 lakhs. That is the main attraction of this session. So let's move on to next section, which is 80G, 80GGA and 80GGC. So these are various types of donations which we will get exemption. So let's see what is the criteria. Donation to religious organization, charitable trust, political parties, PM care fund, all types of donations we will get deduction under various sections. So what is the mode of payment? Mode of payment, cash up to 2000 only, online transfer, check, DD, whatever mode it's okay, but cash it is limited to 2000, and in some sections it is even limited to 0. That means no cash transaction allowed. Then in-kind contributions are not allowed. If you are donating some food, some clothes, or whatever, some toys, books, etc., it is not covered under this section. So you should pay as amount only, then only you will get exemption. Then you should get name, PAN number, address of the donee along with the amount of donation. You should get a receipt for this donation, then only you can claim under income tax. So what is the calculation? So I will say calculation for 80G, then 80GGA, 80GGC. So let's see 80G. So there are 4 criterias and 4 lists. List A, list B, list C, list D. So each list contains a list of donation. So which all donations are covered under list A, list B. So this list I am mentioning in a file under description section. So you can refer that. And there is one more thing, some donations are adjusted total income, 10% of adjusted total income. That what is adjusted total income, that also I will mention in the description part. So 100%, so if you are donating 1 lakh to list A donations, then you will get entire 1 lakh as exemption. So if you are giving 1 lakh and to list B donation, then you will get only 50%, that means 50,000 only. And the list C, if you are donating to list C donation, then you will get 100%, but this amount should not exceed 10% of your adjusted total income. You can refer what is adjusted total income. For example, if your adjusted total income is 2 lakhs, so you cannot pay more than 20,000. If you are paying more than 20,000, then it is the more you pay, only 20,000 you can get the claim 100%. Again, next one also same, 2 lakh if you are adjusted total income and 10%, that means 20,000, and you will get maximum of 10,000 only. So you have to see what is your adjusted total income. Then 80 GGA. So this 80 GGA is 100% you will get exemption. It is actually donations made to scientific research or rural development. And then 80 GGC. So if you are donating some amount during election time, lot of people are asking for donation. But if you are donating for political parties, then also you will get 100% deduction in your tax payment. But here is the main is no, you should not pay cash. Okay, and you should get all the details, receipt and all, to get the claim. So as interest on education also, here also there is no limit. So if you are donating 15 lakhs, 20 lakhs, the entire amount will be exempted as per the rules. Now let's see some medical allowances, which is 80D, 80DD and 80DB, 80U. So let's see one by one. So let's see 80D. What is 80D? 80D who are paying, for individuals who are paying premium for health insurance. So most of the people will have health insurance for self, spouse, parents or dependent child. So I have put a star in the dependent child. So what is dependent child? Dependent child is child whose age is less than 21 years is called dependent child. So if he is exceeding 21 years, he is not categorized as dependent child. Or if he got a job and he earns his own salary and he is living of his own, or he is married, then also he is not a dependent child. So what is the claim amount we can get at this section? So if you are a non-senior citizen, that means if your age is less than 60 years, with spouse and child, you will get a maximum of 25,000. Means this includes your health insurance premium, plus you can have a health checkup up to rupees 5,000. That means if your premium is 20,000 and your health checkup cost is 5,000, then you will get 25,000 fully. And if your premium is only 10,000 and your health checkup is 5,000, then you can get 15,000. And if your premium is more than 25,000, that means 40,000, then again you will get only 25,000 is the maximum limit. And for health checkup, if you are spending 8,000 on health checkup, you will not get 8,000. The maximum limit for health checkup is 5,000 only. Now next, see, if you are a senior citizen, you cross the age of 60 and your spouse plus child, you will get a 50,000. So here there is no need of there is no limit. So if you are not paying premium, you can submit the medical bills spent in your name or your spouse's name or child's name. You will get this exemption if you are senior citizen. Then parents. So if your parents are below the age of 60, you will get claim of 25,000. That also same thing, premium plus health checkup. And if your parents are senior citizen, then you will get 50,000. So maximum claim including yourself and parents is 1 lakh under this 80D section. So 1 lakh is the limit here. Now let's see 80DD. 80DD is deductions available to individuals for rehabilitation of handicapped dependent relative. So handicap dependent relative. The relative term here is for your parents, your siblings, your spouse, your children. Only these four are allowed under dependent relative, not uncle, auntie and all. Okay. So the amount of claim, if the disability is below 40%, then you will not eligible for any claim, and 40 to 80% disability, it is 75,000, and if it is more than 80% disability, you will get 1,25,000. How this disability is calculated? It will be certified by prescribed medical authority. So they will certify how much percentage of disability for this income tax claim. So 1.25 lakhs is the highest limit for this. And let's see 80 DDB. So 80 DDB is medical expenditure for self or dependent for treatment of some specific diseases. So these specific diseases, you can see in the description page which are those specific diseases. So you can check that, and you will get claim of if you are a non-senior citizen. So dependent relative, for self or dependent relative you will get the claim. So if it is non-senior citizen, it is 40,000. Senior and super senior citizen. What is super senior? It is citizens whose age is above 80. Senior citizen is above 60, and if the age is above 80, it is called super senior citizen. So 1 lakh is the highest limit of this, and you have to give documents, means certificate of specific disease from a specialist. So what is this specific disease and who is that specialist is mentioned in the description section. So maximum 1 lakh. Now one more is left in the medical allowance 80U. So in 80DD, if you are handicapped or disabled relative, if you are self-disabled or self-handicapped, then you will get this claim. So only difference is 80DD for relative, means your dependents, and 80U for self, and the amount is same as 80DD only. Only difference is it is for self, and the document needed is disability from prescribed medical authority. And next session is 80 TTA and 80 TTB. So it is interest from bank account. So 80 TTA is for normal citizen, means below senior citizen. If your age is below 60, then you are eligible for this 80 TTA, and maximum amount is 10,000. Here you will get the claim only for interest from savings account, not from fixed deposit or recurring deposits. The document needed is passbook or interest certificate. And 80 TDB, so maximum limit is 10k in this section, and 80 TDB is for senior citizen, means if you are above 60, then you can claim for this. And here the claim amount is 50,000, same documents. So here you will get claim of 50,000. So last portion is standard deduction and section 87A. So what is standard deduction? Standard deduction is the deduction for all salaried individuals with any amount of salary, means government is allowing you for your personal expense rupees 50,000. So the attraction of this is you now need to submit any proof for this claim. You can directly claim rupees 50,000. And section 87A. So both this standard deduction and 87A I have already mentioned in my previous video, old tax regime versus new tax regime. You can refer in the I button mentioned above. So under section 87A, if your salary is exactly 5 lakh, annual salary is exactly 5 lakh or below, so no need to pay any tax. So actually the slabs begin from 2.5 lakhs. So from this 2.5 lakh to 5 lakh, if your salary is below 5 lakh, this amount is entirely deducted, so entirely reduced by the government, and no need to pay any tax. So standard deduction 50,000 and 87A, there is no tax if your salary below 5 lakh. So thank you again, and wait for my next video, which is how to calculate your tax. So I will incorporate with example. I will explain you how to calculate tax with all these deductions and exemptions. So please don't forget to subscribe and press bell button. Thank you.